All right, so good morning, everybody. Once again, um, we are going to discuss our first lesson for this subject, tourism, marketing, and hospitality. So, for everyone's have an initial understanding of tourism marketing, we will discuss the chapter one, which is the introduction to tourism marketing. So, for the learning objectives, Almira, can you please read? Okay, thank you, Almira. So these are the learning points, class, that you should be able to acquire at the end of our discussion. So let's begin our discussion for this one. So first is, what is marketing? So in your own understanding, before I give you its definition, how do you understand marketing in one word? Bernadette. Selling. Yeah, marketing is selling. Very good. How about Audrey? Promoting or promotion. How about Vernice? Advertising. So all of those words are correct. Selling, promotion, advertising, that is related to marketing. But what is the real definition of marketing? So according to American Marketing Association, marketing is the activity, the process, and system of creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging products or services that provide value to customers, partners, and society. So all of the words that you mentioned earlier are all connected to marketing, because all of those words are all about creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging products or services to our customers. So, meaning, in short, we are promoting, we are selling, we are uh, creating a lot of advertising materials in order for us to make sure that those products and services will be delivered to our clients or to our guests. Now, in order for you to really understand how marketing is working, I am going to show you a very simple explanation or simple illustration. Okay, so we said, or we mentioned that marketing is about creating. So meaning you're going to create a certain product. You're going to create a certain services. So for example, you create a coffee shop, or you build a coffee shop. And in that coffee shop, you have a special product. And your special product is a coffee made with coconut. Okay, so that's what we call creating. Okay, you create a certain product from your business, okay, or from your organization. Next is, once you created that coconut milk coffee, you post it online. You post it in Instagram, in Facebook, you created a website, you created a platform. And that's what we call communicating. Meaning, you are telling to your target market or to your target customers na, hey, we have this new product. Hey, you have to check this new product. We have a coffee made with coconut milk in our coffee shop. So you are communicating, you are delivering information to your customers, because once you post that product in social media, you communicate the information or the details of that product. Now you already posted it online. Then the customer went through your shop. Okay, they buy the coffee coconut in your shop. So they go to your shop and buy that coffee coconut, and you deliver the same and exact product that you advertise coffee coconut, you deliver coffee coconut. Okay, That's what we call delivering. It should be from expectation coming to reality. Not that you advertise coffee coconut but you deliver coffee, for example, coffee strawberry. So that's not delivering. And lastly, according to the meaning of marketing, it creates value. When we say value, we take good care of our customer. We take good care of our clients. Okay? We make sure that they are not only satisfied, but highly satisfied. That's why, how do we create value with our customer? We provide programs, incentive programs. We provide loyalty card, we provide discounts, we provide promotions, so on and so forth. That's what we call marketing as a whole. So you have to remember these four words when you are being asked what is marketing. So marketing is about creating, communicating, delivering, and valuing your customers from the products and services that you are offering to them. Do you follow? Very good. Next, now you already know the meaning of marketing. And as I said in our last meeting, we will no longer discuss its nitty gritty or the very details of marketing because you are not a marketing student. Now we will move on to our main topic, which is tourism marketing. So you already know the meaning of marketing itself. It's about delivering, communicating, creating, and giving value to the products and services. Now, if I will ask you, when it comes to tourism and hospitality, what's its meaning? What's the mean when we say tourism marketing? Anyone? How do you understand tourism marketing? What do we promote, lady? Very good. Perfect. So that's the simple meaning of tourism marketing. When we say tourism marketing, we are promoting, we are selling the different products and services in our industry. Okay? So what are those products? What are those services? Anybody who can give me one? What are the products and services of tourism and hospitality sector? May I call on Parcon, Jana? Okay, perfect. Accommodation. How about Tating? F&B or the food and beverage? Others? Francine? Travel services? How about Sophia? Attractions? Others? Olis? Nature, leisure? Tabuena? Transportation. So all of those things are part of the tourism products and services. We sell a lot of products and services in the tourism and hospitality industry. And those products and services are the ones we are promoting and selling. That's why you are studying right now international travel and tourism management, because in the future you'll be the one to promote, okay, and sell those products and services to our target market. Okay, so I hope we are all clear when we say tourism marketing. Now, let's explore the 8 P's of marketing. So, way back few years ago, maybe you might just be familiar with the 4 P's of marketing, but nowadays, it's already updated to 8 P's of marketing. Okay, same with other um, sectors or industries. 8 P's of marketing has also evolved already from 4 P's that we are considered, those factors we are now considering the 8 P's. So what are those 8 P's? And this 8 P's of marketing, we will relate it to the tourism and hospitality sector one by one. Okay? So we have the 8 P's of marketing. So Anyone who can no, hindi pala to sunod-sunod. Okay, so the first eight piece of marketing is all about product. Okay, when we say product, how do we pertain this one in the tourism industry? Anybody? How do you understand product in the tourism marketing? What is a product? Grace, Kabaho. Okay. So, very good. So, when we say product, these are tangible or intangible thing that we offer to our customer. Okay. In short, these are the things that you listed or mentioned earlier. Okay. What you offer to customer. What are you selling? What are you creating? What are you delivering? So you mentioned earlier in the tourism and hospitality sector, there are a lot of products. You mentioned accommodation, food and beverage, airline services, tour packages, events management. Those are products in the tourism setting. Okay, that's what we call product. Next, how about price? What is price in the tourism marketing? Hayag, Liana. Very good. Perfect. So, as simple as that. When we say price, this is the money we are paying to the money that we are uh, selling or the amount of the products and services that we are promoting to our guests and customers. So, as mentioned by Liana, these are the room rates, the food rates, the bar rates, so on and so forth. Next, place. Okay, what do we mean when we say place in the eight piece of marketing? Other hands? I want other hands. Or I will call name randomly. Jiheng. Very good that you are. Yes, Jiheng. I think your mic is not working. We can't hear you. Still not working, dear. You have to fix it first. Okay, so I think you have to fix your microphone. Okay. I will call other names for the meantime, and then I'll call you back later on when you fix your mic already. How about Lanver? All right, thank you. Correct. So when we say place class, as simple as itself, where and how customer buy the product. You promote the product, you sell the product. How are they going to order? Where are they going to order? Is it via website? Is it via travel agency? Is it via hotel front desk? Or is it via online applications? Or will they need to be walk-in, so on and so forth. Those are the place that you need to consider when you are creating a product, because the customer itself will always ask you, how are we going to place our order? Where are we going to place our order? Okay, that's what we call place. How about promotion? Hernandez. I really like. Sorry, I clicked. Very good. So when we say promotion, this is how you advertise or how you communicate your product, how you promote your product to your audience. So, in promotion, there are two things that we are considering. Okay? So, according to the American Marketing Association, when it comes to promotion, these are the two types of promotion. The first one is the traditional type of promotion, and the second one is the technological type of promotion. Now, what's the difference between the two types of promotion? Anyone? We have traditional promotion and we have um, technological type. Jana. Perfect. Very good. So correct, class. When we say traditional promotion, as mentioned by Jana, this is mostly face to face. Okay, you are there. You're going to the exact location or place where you do flyering, where you do calling, where you do giving materials. While on the other hand, technological from its root word technology, you're going to use digital media or social media when you are advertising and communicating your products and services. Okay? Next, people. So, anybody who can explain to me what is or who is people in the 8 P's of marketing? Daphne. Okay, very good. So there are two type of people in the 8 P's of marketing. And the one mentioned by Daphne is the target market, or who are the target market of your product. So what mentioned by Daphne is correct. So when we say people, there are two types, the target customer and the staff who will serve the customer. So target customer is the one who you will target that the product will be assigned. Okay, so they are the one who will buy the product, and the other people is the one who will serve or offer the product. Okay, so for the target market, we have a word uh, that we mentioned, niche market. Okay, ma'am, what do we mean when we say niche market? So when we say niche market, Niche, okay, this is a specific target market or a market who have a specific needs and preferences or wants in their buying behavior. For example, vegetarians. So vegetarians have different needs and preferences when they are buying a products or a services. Another one is Muslims. Okay? So they preferred halal serve food. Okay? Because they have different niche preferences. That's what we call target market. And the other one is those staffs or employees who will serve the customer. So who are the possible staff or employees that are serving the products and services. So for example, in a tour, so tour guides, in a hotel, the front desk agent, in an airline, cabin crews. Okay? So in a transportation, so those are the captains or the what do you call this? The pilot. So those are the people in the 8 P's of marketing. Next, process. Okay? What do we mean when we say process? Dean. Very good. When we say process, how the service is being delivered to the customer. How are we going to uh, tell the customer, or how are we going to ask the customer to buy our product? So what are the step-by-step procedure that they need to undergo in order for them to avail the product? For example, you want to book a hotel room in Manila Peninsula. So what will be your first move, or what will be your first action in order for you to book a hotel room? Anybody? This is self-explanatory, but we have to discuss this. Yes, Bernadette. Via where? Very good. So you can go to a website in a booking system such as Expedia, Agoda, so on and so forth. That's the process of how are you going to book a hotel room, or how are you going to reserve a hotel room. Okay, now you already book a hotel room and the day comes in. You're going to check in already. Now, what's the next step? Then the customer, you will explain to the customer the check-in procedure, the do's and don'ts, the mechanics on how are they going to fully pay their balances, so on and so forth. Or for example, you are a mountaineer and you joined a hiking. Now, the tour guides will explain to you the tour schedule, the trail schedule. That's how we call process. In short, you only remember step-by-step procedure on how are you going to avail the products and services that you purchase. Next, physical evidence. Okay? So when we say physical evidence, it's all about what customers can see to judge the quality. So for example, you are selling a hotel. You advertise it online. And you said online, our hotel is a five-star hotel with a big lobby and full of lights. Then they purchased the product. They went to your hotel. So what are the physical evidence that the product that you advertise is true? So they are going to look the big lobby with a lot of lights inside of it. That's what we call physical evidence, meaning what you advertise online should be in reality. But we always have false advertisement that we are encountering right now, especially when we are buying online. Some of the products and services that are being advertised online are misleading. For example, we uh, purchase a t-shirt online telling it is color red, size is this, size is that, so on and so forth. But when the products arrive, you become disappointed because it is not what it's look like online. Okay? The physical evidence is not much on the description that has been advertised online. Okay? That's what we call physical evidence. And you have to always remember physical evidence should match the advertisement online. If it's not match online, it's what we call false advertisement. Please remember that because it is included on your prelim exam. And last but not the least, productivity and quality. So when we say productivity and quality, it is how well the service is being done. Okay. Meaning, is the client became satisfied? Is the services fast as they could? Is the room really clean and sanitized? Are the guests exceptionally happy? Okay? Meaning, when we say productivity and quality, it is the end game of the product. It is the verdict whether the customer become satisfied or not. Okay? So these are the 8 P's of marketing. Okay? So, are we clear with the 8 P's of marketing? Perfect. I really love your section. Okay? So, next is characteristics of a tourism product. So, what are the things that we need to understand about tourism products and services? In short, what are the factors that you need to take in consideration when you are selling products of tourism? Okay, so these are their characteristics. First is tourism products and services is intangible. It is also perishable. It is also inseparable, seasonal, variable, and substitutable. Okay, these are the tourism characteristics of a products and services. Now we have to take it one by one. The first one is intangible. When we say tourism products and services is intangible, what do we mean by this? From its word intangible. Anybody? Shannon. Perfect. Very good. So when we say tourism products and services is intangible, in short, as mentioned by Shannon, it cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, it cannot be tasted, smelled, or tested before you buy it. You will only experience it when you try it at the first time. Okay? So the tourist will only imagine the experience based on information they hear or see. Because as we mentioned when we say intangibility, okay? So you cannot touch it. You cannot see, you cannot taste, you cannot smell, but you only experience it. So, ma'am, what's the example of intangibility of a tourism products and services? So, for example, one of the best example of tourism products and services that are intangible is you market your resort online. Your resort is located in, for example, in Ifugao. So your resort is situated on the top of the mountain of Ifugao, and you advertise it online saying, come and visit our um, hotel and resort located in Ifugao province. The air is sensational. The air is fresh. So, what are you selling to your client based on your advertisement? Grace. You advertise your hotel and resort located at the top of the mountain of Ifugao, and you mentioned the air is fresh and sensational. So, what will be the customer expect when they visit your resort? Very good. So the customer should visit the hotel and resort in order for them to feel that the air is really sensational and fresh. Because you cannot mention them, or they cannot feel it when just looking online. Oh, I really feel the fresh air on my screen. Because the tourism products and services is intangible. You cannot feel it unless you experience it for the first time. So when they advertise that the smell or the product is fresh air, they have to go there physically. They have to be there, okay? So that they will feel those promotions that they are advertising online. That's what we call intangibility or intangible. You will only judge the products of tourism and services if you are there or if you are experiencing it. Can you give me another example of tourism product that is intangible? Anybody? Alice. Ve- Very good. So very perfect example because for example as mentioned by Olis, you visit the restaurant website and you see the feedback of the customer. Oh, I like to dine in there. Oh, I really love the servers there because they are very accommodating, they are very polite, they are very respectful, and they really serve me as fast as they can. Once you read those feedback, you cannot tell it ahead of time or on that spot that, oh, I think I really feel the respect and the service of those servers or waiters because you are not there. Okay, so very good that you are visiting the restaurant in order for you to experience it on your own. That's what we call intangibility. Okay, next, inseparable or inseparability. So when we say inseparability, tourism products and the customer cannot be separated. You always have to remember that our products and customers are always as one. Meaning, you cannot deliver the product without the customer. Okay, so you are selling, you build a resort in for example Tawi-Tawi, but you do not have a customer. So how are you going to sell your product in Tawi-Tawi without an existing customer? That's what we call inseparability. Without the customer, the product cannot be delivered. Another one, the customer goes to the product. Again, as we mentioned by intangibility, the customer needs to experience the product in order for them to really enjoy and savor it. So, same with inseparability or inseparable, the customer and the product should be stand as one. They cannot be separated. For example, the customer wants to experience parasailing in Boracay. But the customer doesn't want to go to Boracay. So, how are they going to experience it if they will not go to Boracay? That's what we call inseparability. The product cannot be delivered to the customer. The customer goes to the product. So, another best example of this one is this. Airline seats. Okay? You want to experience the heights, okay, while traveling. But you do not want to book airline seats or airline flights. So it doesn't make sense. So inseparable. You have to experience it, you have to buy it, and you have to be there. Next, hotel rooms with the guests. Inseparable. Okay? So there are a lot of other example. Like you would like to eat steak, but you do not want to go to steakhouse. Okay? Ma'am, it can be delivered, but the experience is different. That's what we call inseparability. Next, variable. Anybody? What do we mean when we say variable when it comes to the tourism products and services? Variable or variability. Nan? Okay. So when we say variable, it's all about changing. It's all about what do you call this? A lot of options. Okay? You have to remember that tourism experience can change from time to time. It doesn't mean that you experience it on the first time, when you go back on the second time, it still be the same. So no, it will always be different from one experience to another experience. Best example of this one is um when you go to different reviews online, there are people who have positive comment and there are people who have negative comments. And that's okay. Why? Because there has to be a different behaviors. There has to be a different experiences. Maybe he experienced it okay, but the other one, her experience is not okay. So that's what we call variability. Okay, so the quality of the service depends on when you go, who you are, and how the staff serve you. For example, the first time that you visit Boracay, you went there summer. Okay, and during summer, the water is crystal clear. The sand is so fine that you can really enjoy the sunset. But the following year, you go again to Boracay, but you go there July, and that's typhoon season. Will the experience be the same? No. Okay, the water is not crystal clear. You will not experience the sunset because it is typhoon season. That's what we call variability. Okay, the experience is changing from time to time. Example, another example, when you dine in a certain restaurant, when you dine in there first, the staff is very respectful, very accommodating. You dine in on the 10th time, the staff is very rude. Okay? The staff serves very slow or slowly. Why? Because it is not the same staff anymore. Because the first staff that you serve that has served to you has resigned already and they changed that staff already. So the experience is different. Um, Park or theme park, for example. Have you guys went to Enchanted Kingdom? Okay. Did you avail the regular pass or the, what do you call this? The other pass, the express, yeah, the VIP pass. So there are two different passes in Enchanted Kingdom, the regular pass and the VIP pass. For the regular pass, you will falling in line for hours in order for you to experience a certain rides. But for those customer who bought or who buy a VIP pass, okay, it's just a minute or just a matter of time that they will experience the rides as long as they can because they are the priority ones. That's what we call variability. The experience is changing and varied from one customer to another. Next, perishable. What do we mean when we say perishable? We always see this in a closed van. Do not delay, perishable items. Same with the tourism products and services. What do we mean when we say perishable or perishability? Other hands? Kyle. Yan na. Very good. So, it is time sensitive. Okay? We have a deadline. Okay? When we say perishable, tourism products cannot be stored for future sale. Okay? It is not the same with the other industries. For example, um, canned goods. Canned goods can be sold for 3 years, for 5 years. But tourism products cannot be stored for future sale. Meaning, if they are not used today, they are lost and cannot be sold tomorrow. For example, cruising or cruise line. There is a schedule of cruising from Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand from November 26 to November 30. That's the scheduled date. Months before you are selling the ticket, okay? And the day comes in, November 26, the cruising will start. There are a total of 500 passengers that the cruise line or the cruise can accommodate. But you can but you only sold 300 tickets. Okay. November 26 came in and you start sailing in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the ocean, and somebody called you, "Hi, can I still buy a ticket for cruising for today? Can you still sell it?" No. Okay? Because time is limited. Because we have a schedule that we are following. Once you are done with that schedule, you cannot go back to the shore or to the port to sell another ticket again. Unlike with the canned goods that you only display it in the supermarket and anytime the buyers will come in and catch it or buy it, that's it. But in tourism products and services, it cannot be done like that. Same with hotel rooms. Today, you are selling hotel rooms for December 2025. Okay, 2027, for example. After 1 year had passed, the total capacity of hotel room for 2027 is 1,000 occupants. And then the December 2027 came in. You only sold um 800 occupants. And then January 2028, can you still sell hotel rooms for 2027? No, because it's already January 1, 2028. That's what we call perishable. We cannot sell our products and services for future use. Next, Seasonal. What do we mean when we say seasonal? From its word season. Anybody? Tourism products and services is seasonal. Other hands? Uh, Jana, naka-mute. Jana, your microphone is muted. Very good. So when we say seasonal, the products and services of tourism sells on a timely basis or based on supply and demand. Okay? So the demand changes depending on the time of the year and the people's travel behavior. So for example, now from January to March, there is a seat sale of Cebu Pacific Airline. I think it's 99 or 88 one way ticket from different cities, provinces, and countries in different destinations. That's what we call seasonal. Why they are selling or they are promoting a lower seats nowadays? Because the travel patterns or travel behaviors of people nowadays is low. Why? Because the holiday is over and people came back from their respective works. Okay, that's why they are selling their tickets. Another example is water activities in Boracay. During summer, there are a lot of water activities in Boracay and in other provinces in our country, Palawan, Bohol, Siargao. There are a lot of tours coming in and out. Tour packages are on sale or in demand during summer. But during typhoon season, okay, wherein demand becomes so low, then there are minimal sale of those products and services. Okay? They use promotions and different prices to attract customers during slow periods. So they offer discounts, they offer seat sale, they offer buy one take one so that some people will avail it even though they are low season. Okay? So sale is being promoted for those seasonal uh, period. Next, substitutable. From its word substitute. Okay, so tourism product can easily be replaced by other similar options. So you always remember, class, that our buying behavior have different patterns and people have different preferences. Maybe you can avail luxury items and others only focus on economy items. Others can spend a lot of money while others are on a budget. That's why our products and services can be substitute by similar options. Okay? So, bakit why do we need to substitute products or why do we need to have other options? Simple answer is there are a lot of destinations around the world, whether hotels, attractions that tourists can look for because it's look better, it's look cheaper, and it looks more exciting. Okay? For example, I'm going to show you picture and tell me what other destination you can substitute in this destination. For example, you cannot afford Boracay. What other destination you can go similar to Boracay? Uh, Gwinnett, Palawan can be, Siargao, others more cheaper, Sofia, Subic, Zambales is also way more cheaper. Others, Audrey, La Union can be also a substitute. Others, Ria. Very good. Little Boracay in Batangas. Last one. May I have Cyrene? Perfect. Puerto Galera in Mindoro. Okay, so those are the destinations or attractions that you can substitute to Boracay, especially if you want to have other scenery or you can just uh, really not afford the prices in Boracay. Okay? And other experience because some people, I do not want to go to Boracay because it's already a lot of tourists visiting there. Instead, I'm going to Mindoro in Puerto Galera because Galera is still white beach. But you cannot compare directly as similar as Boracay. Just a resemblance. Another one. For example, I want to visit Halong Bay in Vietnam, but I cannot afford the prices of Halong Bay. What alternative options where I can go? Olis. Yeah, Palawan can be the best option for Halong Bay. Okay, especially in Coron. Okay, so this is about substitute. Now, give me one destination that can be substituted to another destination. Another example. Hmm. Bernadette. Perfect. Good. So others? Last one. Baguio can be substituted to Tagaytay. Olis. Very good. So Star City is much cheaper compared to Enchanted Kingdom and short kilometer away from Cavite if you want to. So those are the things that you need to take in consideration when we are discussing about substitutes in the tourism products and services. So these are the characteristics of tourism products and services that you should be able to understand. Now, nowadays, we have this trending approach when it comes to marketing communications of our product. When we say communicating our products, it's all about integrating marketing communication or the IMC. So, ma'am, what is an IMC and how are we going to do it? So, when we say IMC, it is a strategy or a tactics where you use a lot or all marketing and communication tools in order for you to promote or deliver your products and services to your customers. So, meaning you are using traditional and technological and other strategies available nowadays in order for you to promote and advertise your product. But you have to make sure that even though you are using different communication tools, the message of the products is still the same. For example, you use flyers. In your flyers, the promotion is 50% off the product. And then you post it to your website. It should also be the same to be 50% off. Another example, you do pitching. You went to an event and you say to the customer, "Hi, you have to visit our resort. Our resort have 6 feet pool." You pitch that on the event. And but in social media, you have to also make sure that the size of the pool is still the same. That's what we call integrated marketing communication. You use a lot of technologies, you use all of the marketing tools, whether traditional or online, but the message will always still be the same. Now, my question is, what will happen if you leverage all of those marketing and communication tools, but the information or the message about a product or a brand is not the same? What will happen? There are three things that might happen. Erica, very good. Bad reputation. Why? Because you will lose the trust of your customer. Why? In short, you are telling lies. You told me last time when I attend an event that you have a 6 feet deep pool. But when I look at your website, it's only 3 feet deep pool. So you are lying to me. I will no longer purchase at your business. Bad reputation. Second, what will happen if your message across marketing communication tools is not consistent or is not the same? Anybody? Other hands? Sige, Bernadette, what will happen? Very good. False advertisement or advertisement. FA. So, meaning you mislead your customer. You are not consistent in delivering your products and services. And if we have false advertisement, it will lead to lawsuit. Okay? You will face lawsuit. There are laws right now. Consumer Protection Act, False Advertisement Act. Okay? So false advertisement will also be uh, the negative actions or the negative result of your action. And then the lawsuit. Lawsuit will incur you a lot of finances, resources, so on and so forth. Okay? So keyword or key idea when you are using integrated marketing communication approach, all messages should speak the same story, even though you are using different platforms. Okay, I am going to give you one another best example of this one that are trending right now. Okay, are you familiar with the Ong Fam? Okay, that's one of the best uh, mimic of this integrated marketing communication. Expectations versus reality. Even though there are a lot of speculation, but online, there are very good family, good image, good branding, good promotion, and there are a lot of millions of followers following them. But what has happened in a certain video uh, that they attended a party somewhere, and that Ong uh, became scandalous on his action despite being there his wife. Okay? Same with integrated marketing communication approach, class. If you are advertising it online as perfect as possible, but in reality, it is not aligned or it is not delivering a consistent message with one another, then conflicts and bashers will arise. Okay? Now, what are the factors that contributed to the growth of IMC? Why do we need to use integrated marketing communication nowadays? First, changing consumer behavior. People now get information from multiple sources, so brands need to send consistent messages everywhere. There are people like us, millennials and Gen Zs, we are using social media at least 80% of the time. That's why marketers are leveraging our social media accounts. Sometimes you will wonder, um, you just search, for example, shoes. And then when you check your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of the advertisement in your timeline is all about shoes. Okay. While baby boomers, um, our seniors now still using flyers, traditional approach. That's why there are still those kind of marketing behavior or marketing communication tools. So always remember that from time to time, the behavior of our consumer is changing. That's why when we are promoting or delivering our products and services, it should also be sustainable. It should also be aligned with their behavior so that the information that we are trying to share with them will reach by them. Okay? Next, technological advancement. So this is very self-explanatory. When we say technological advancement, internet, social media, and mobile devices allow brands to communicate directly and interactively with customers. We have a lot of active brands right now that are collaborating and creating partnership with a lot of influencers, especially on TikTok. 'Di ba? There is what we call affiliate marketing, that even you as a student can still market and promote product and earn an amount of money because of this technology. There are a lot of influencers and brand onlines collaborating to promote those products and services. That's why technology is really advancing nowadays. Okay? And lastly, syempre, hindi mawawala, competition. So, market is evolving, business is evolving. That's why increase in competition is there. Okay? In one city, for example, here in Mangahan, ba, near Mangahan, there are a lot of coffee shops. There are a lot of restaurants with the same products and services being offered. That's why a lot of competitions is arising as well, and these brands are competing with each other. So what are the things that they need to do? They need to leverage all of those marketing communication tools. They need to create a lot of what do you call this, promotional materials to attract products, to attract customers. Okay, so more brands in the market make it essential to have coordinated campaigns to stand out and build loyalty. There are campaigns, as you mentioned earlier during our icebreaker game. They are using those memes when they are promoting their products and services to create and catch attentions. Okay, that's why usage of marketing communication tools as a whole is really a factors right now. And that's the end of our discussion. Can you guys open your camera, please?